Hey everyone, it's Dan from The Plague. First off, I just want to apologize for not making any new videos so far this year. It's been a crazy year, I'm sure, for everybody, but yeah, just a lot of work and personal stuff's kind of gotten in the way, but I am trying to get back on track now and hopefully have some more reviews and interviews coming your way soon. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching the videos and subscribed, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, I just want to kick things off with an album that's been getting the most repeat play on my stereo in the last month or so, and that's the new album Lights On from Sanhedrin. This is coming out on Metal Blade March 4th, and they are a three-piece band from New York City. This is their third album, and my initial impression just from listening to it, like even on the first spin, like it was immediately apparent this was their best album so far, and that's saying something because I think their first two albums were both very strong. Their first album in particular just really, like, I think set a good standard for this band, and their second album showed a little bit more of the progressive side, a little more experimental, and this album just kind of ties everything together like perfectly. The style being played here is pretty much traditional heavy metal, but it's unique in that it's not, you can't just say, oh, that's like Judas Priest or that's Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden. There's little bits of everybody you can think of just about from the 70s and 80s kind of mixed in, and they really have their own unique sound, which, you know, I say that a lot on here, but that's usually because I end up picking the albums that I think that are the most unique and interesting to review. So yeah, let's kick off with the songs themselves. So there's only 8 songs on here, but it's a 41-minute album. It feels like the perfect length to me. It never gets boring. All 8 tracks are strong, although there are definitely a couple that are really standout tracks. The opener in particular, it's a song called Correction, and it just got a really great classic heavy metal feel to it. Really catchy chorus. You can tell right away that the musicianship here is just top notch, and there's a very organic feel to the drums and just the production overall. The second song is the title track, Lights On, and it's got a little bit more of a subtle flavor to it. Reminds me a little bit of some of the classic Loudness and some of the US power metal bands from back in the 80s. Another really interesting track is called Code Blue, and it's got this kind of detour in the middle that goes into some kind of jammy territory, but it never loses its way, and it's just it's got a little bit of that 70s Sabbath vibe in that respect. But it's the song Hero's End that's reminds me a lot of like the Tony Martin era, the really heavy songs from that era of Sabbath, or like even Dehumanizer. Just really slow, super heavy, just great classic metal song. So the closing track is perhaps the most interesting on the album. It kind of alternates between this kind of slow, moody, psychedelic vibe that reminds me of all bands, the band On Trial, which is a Danish psych band from like the early 2000s. That if you've never checked out On Trial, I highly recommend Blinded by the Sun. Any of their early stuff, New Day Rising. But anyways, it alternates between that, and they pull it off really well. I'd actually like to see them kind of experiment more with that direction. But yeah, it moves between that and like just a really straightforward, heavy, out and out metal sort of section. And it's just a really interesting juxtaposition that they pull off just seamlessly. So as I said, the performances here are just stellar all around. The vocalist Erica Stoltz has a very unique sound, and she's got a clean voice, but it's also very powerful, and it moves between, across a wide range of emotions, and it just, fits whatever the line is in the particular song like perfectly. The guitarist is Jeremy Sostville, who you may know as a member of the black metal band Black Anvil, who have been around for a while. And his playing is also just, spot on throughout. Some of the most elegantly constructed solos I've heard in a while, which is always great to hear. Some thought being put into the solos and not just like going off for, however many bars they need to fill. And the drumming of Nathan Honor is also definitely worth mentioning. He has some really interesting use of the toms and throws in some cool double bass, like at the end of a couple songs, but it's just enough to like make the impact felt and not just overdo it. And then the way his drumming combines with Erica's bass playing throughout is just it's just a great rhythm section that propels the songs to another level. So the artwork here, they've always had pretty good artwork, I have to say, and I think this might actually be their best one so far. I'll flash it up on the screen here, but it's just a really unique concept, and I think it's executed like really well too. Really looking forward to seeing this one vinyl size. So I've got my pre-order in, and yeah, can't wait to see that. So in conclusion, I really have nothing negative to say about this record. It's like everything is just ticks all the boxes. It's powerful. It's inventive. There's no weak songs on here. Everything about it is just, it's exactly what you would want from a classic heavy metal album. It's got elements from the 70s, elements from the 80s, a little bit of a modern twist here and there. And just stellar performances all the way through. And also just very catchy. Like the songs, especially the choruses, are just very memorable, like from the first listen, which to me, that always is a good thing to me. So I saw them on tour 2019. They were opening for Slough Egg, and man, just a great show. They just no nonsense performance, just go out there and they just kill it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them on the road again when things open up, and yeah, they can get out and tour this album in particular. So anyways, if you have any comments about Sanhedrin, if you have any thoughts on this particular album, feel free to leave comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, I will try to get some more reviews done in a timely fashion starting from now. So look forward to that. And until next time, stay metal.